All right, everybody, how y'all doing today? All right, here's what we got going on. Back out here in the garage. Past couple of days here, it's been pretty cold. Pretty cold for here, anyway. Gotten down into the 20s, and that's too cold for me. So, yeah, when it comes to being cold, mm-mm, I'm a no player. Okay. Uh, but just want to show you the progress on the cylinder heads. As you can see right here, we've got we do have flash rusting, but as you can see, I can literally rub it off with my fingers. I mean, that's right there. I mean, so yeah, flash rust. Not that bad a deal. As you can see, these have been ported. That particular head has been ported. Um, there may be some questions for those of you who don't understand about porting cylinder heads, or you don't have any clear ideas about it. Let me give you a demonstration. Okay, we have a screwdriver. Okay, see, look how far the screwdriver goes in here. This is a ported head, ported intake port. Here is a non-ported intake. You see where I'm talking about? I took that valve stem, I ground it down and ground it down until I got it to there. So that gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. So see, here is a ported. So as you can see, I got that far on the handle, non-ported, and I got that far on the handle. So we'll do it again. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. So now, also the been working on the ports right here. I've got a little ledge right there. I got to go in there and got to work on that just a little bit. But the basic reasons for doing this is to improve flow. Now these are Mopar small block LA 596 heads. Now, usually when you hear somebody talking about Mopar heads, they'll usually refer to the last three digits. Even if they're talking about big block heads, it's usually always the last three digits. The folks with that, even the folks that do a lot of the LS engines, work with a lot of the LS engines, they'll do the same thing. They'll use those last three digits. It's just a quick, easy, common way to reference a cylinder head part number or casting number, and then it just, that way it makes it just really simple and easy. Now, these particular heads are open chamber, okay? Here, yeah, these are an open chamber heads. These have been milled down 60 thousandths. Like I said in a previous video, these do not have any problems with fitting the intake on here, which goes down here, okay? The intake fits on the engine with these heads on just fine. Already checked that out. These heads have both been through the what is it? Oh, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so basically, think of the engine as an air pump. Okay, when you have an air pump, you want it to flow very well. You want the air to come in, and you want the air to go out. In this case, in an engine, you want the air and the fuel to come in really easily, and then you want the exhaust to just move right on out very easily without a whole lot of effort, without a whole lot of trouble. The reason why is when we improve all of that, we improve that flow in and out, then the engine becomes more efficient. Okay, makes more power, volumetric efficiency goes up. Um, things just it just helps tremendously. So that's why, you know, it's important to do porting. Now, you can go ahead and go buy that already has all of this already done. Okay. Now, if you want to do that, that is fine. However, unfortunately, I don't have that ability. Uh, Basically, doing this is uh, is a way to get around that expense. But another way, you know, when the intake valve opens, you want the air to flow in, and then you want the intake valve to close. When it's time for the exhaust to go out, you want the exhaust valve to open, and then the exhaust to close. Now there are things called like lift and duration. And of course there's lobe separation angle on a cam as well. There's a lot of different terminologies when it comes to camshafts. But one thing to keep in mind is that an easy way to do it is like lift is basically like what I'm saying. It's how much the valve is opened. Okay? It's lifted off of its seat. Okay? So like a stock cam would be like maybe that much. Okay? Now, and then an aftermarket cam with more lift would be like that much. Okay? Then, of course, duration is simply, it's very easy. Duration is how long we're holding the valve open. So, stock cam be like, a stock cam would be more like this, and then it's closed. You know, bigger cam, more duration, holds open longer, then it closes. Okay? That's just a simple, easy way to think of all that. Another way to think of it in terms is think of it like a door. Now, my garage door over here is a perfect example. As you can see, I've got one side open, one side is closed, and I have my truck in the way. And it makes it harder to get in and out of here when it's like that. However, if both doors are open and the truck's not in the way, it makes it a lot easier. Okay, so that's basically the simple way of thinking of all that. You can do porting yourself. It's not that hard. You just need you need some either stones or you need a carbide bit. Okay, you don't want to nick the seat, of course. That's a big no-no. Never nick the seat. But it's not that hard to do yourself. You don't even have to have an air compressor. I'm using compressed air simply because I already have it. Okay, they make an electric one. They make electric die grinders. They do a fantastic job, but everybody has a different way of doing this. Okay, so it's just how you want to do it. If that's how you want to do it, great. Okay, you can use the carbide burrs like this right here. These are fantastic. I love them. They work exceptional. Okay, there's also some folks that use the sanding paper rolls. Those are more for like polishing rather than removing lots of material. The carbide bits, now they will remove a lot of material very quickly. But of course, this is work that is tedious. It's time consuming. It's also known as can sometimes drive you crazy, I guess. The noise is another issue. Also, you're going to have a lot of little bits of metal everywhere. Look, that's my floor in the garage. You see all that sparkly stuff, that little gray sparkly stuff? That's metal from this cylinder head right here. As we can see right here, here's some that came already off of this cylinder head. Okay, so you want to get in here though, and you want to just like take off all the sharp edges in here, and you want to open things up. See, I'll show you a little bit more here. See, here's a port I cleaned up already. I already been working on this one. We have our socket right here. All right, this is a 22 millimeter. Look at there. Okay, goes in there really easy. Now it can go in this one, but not as easily. Okay, as you can see right here on this one, you can actually see that wall is protruding into the flow. So, tighter in these, looser in these, and then let's see, can I? Oh, look at there. Okay, that one goes right in, doesn't it? It's snug, really snug, but it does go in. Yeah, it's really snug, but it does go in. So there you go. Okay, that's progress. Okay, of course this probably, yeah, see there's no way in the world that'll go in there, but it will go in here. Okay, now also too, one thing to keep in mind, Mopar small block heads. This is characteristic of all of them. Okay, characteristic of all of them. They have this protrusion into the port. Okay, this is the intake port. This is the intake side. You can grind this down some, but you got to be careful not to break through. If you break through, then you're kind of screwed. Okay, then you got to come up with a solution. You probably have to come in here in your push rod hole, which is right here, and then put in a little sheet metal sleeve, and then bond it and seal it to the head. Best thing to do, just don't do that. Don't break through if you can avoid it. Okay? I may come in here and take a little bit more out of these. Yeah. So, just something to keep in mind, okay? So, all right. All right. I've rambled on about this stuff. So, if you got any questions about any of this, just drop it down below. Of course, there's a lot of other people that has made videos about porting and polishing and all of that sort of stuff. Oh, one other little thing. Speaking of porting and polishing, when you're porting intake, you want to leave the intakes rough. Why? So that it causes the intake mixture to tumble as it goes through the intake port. It makes the air and the gas tumble as it's going in there. Okay? You want the exhaust to be smooth. Reason why? You want it to just smoothly flow on out of there. You don't want the carbon buildup sticking to any of the rough cast surfaces. So the more you can polish in there, pretty much the better off you're going to be. However, a lot of this has to be taken into context of what you're doing what with. These are going on my pickup truck. On the 360, it's going in my pickup truck. So it's pretty much going to be one of those deals where I don't need, like, ports that are polished to a mirror finish. Okay? See where I'm going? Oh, one other little thing I noticed. Around these very sharp edges right here, you want to make sure they're not really, really sharp. If they're very sharp, you want to go over and you want to just give them a nice little even grind down there. Just grind them down just a little bit, not much. Okay, just to knock off the very sharp point or edge. Reason being is, if you can do that, then everything a lot better, because then you don't have the chance of pre-detonation or pre-ignition or anything like that. One of my cats is out here doing something crazy. So anyway, all right, see what I got to deal with. Anyway, so like I said before, if you have any questions, comments, ideas, anything about any of this, post them down below. I'll be very happy to respond to you and get back to you and answer your questions as best I can. Okay. Thank you very much for watching, and God bless, and have a great one.